Alright, let's get this going. Hey everyone, I'm Feather Monster, and you're here to see a Week 1 match. Yeah, it's back to Week 1. Um, and it's between Titus Gaming and Godar. So since it's, Week 1, we're back on Tram, but this time instead of having the Marines on the south spawn, we're going to have them on the top spawn today. Theoretically, the spawns should be fixed like this, hopefully, theoretically, I don't know, we'll find out. So that won't be an issue, and, 1 second, I just got a message from somebody. So far, looks like we have most people on the server, I think, or if not, I think they're connecting. Yeah, it looks like we have everyone in here. So, we've got, of course, Titus is starting as Marines, and they've got Zephram, Golden, Gorgeous, Sicknick, Versal, and Rantology. So pretty much a fairly standard roster there. They do have Sicknick back. He's been not playing as much, so we'll see how he ends up doing this time around. Godar's obviously going to be starting as aliens, and it looks like they've got Heracles and Bitey as on their helping them out today. So the rest of the roster would be Icefeld, Alcalde, Valk, and I believe Big Daddy is Sammy G. Let me just check that. Yeah, that's Sammy G. All right. So now that we all know who's in here, yeah. Of course, you already heard my bird making some, adding her commentary to the mix. I gave her some treats. We'll see if she isn't too noisy, but whatever. So it goes. I'm curious to see how this is going to end up. I mean, I think a lot of people are just going to go with the assumption that, that Titus is probably going to win this, just because I think part of it is because Godar's had some pretty bad luck, in recent times, or at least it's felt that way. They had comm issues last season. I think they're still trying to work through things, or at least it's, from my perspective, sitting in spec, it seems that way to me, that they're still trying to work through things and try and figure out the exact way that they, to sort it out kind of thing. Yeah, I guess normally in Premier you are only allowed one merc, but I think they allow Titus has decided to allow 2 mercs as long as Heracles is the one calming. Which, considering I don't see another person who typically comms on their roster, at least in game at the moment. That looks like what's probably going to happen. You can see him sitting right there by the hive, so he'll probably hop in there momentarily as soon as we're ready to go. And then I tell them. All right, so let's take a look here, see who else is sitting in chat. Can't see the whole list, but it looks like we've got a fair number of people sitting around so far. Of course, I think there is at least one other match going on at the same time as this one. I think there might be 2 more that are starting about an hour in. So there's definitely going to be a lot of stuff for you guys to watch if you aren't keen on watching 3 matches at once or 4 matches at once. So I don't know, more stuff for you to watch if you're going to be up for a while longer. And oh no, guys, is there anybody? I'm going to have to add somebody as a mod to this. Oh god, it unmuted. Sorry about that. Oh well, I'll just have to do it next round, because we're going to move right into round 1 here. Sorry I didn't get to set that up. So here we go, 10 seconds to round 1 of Titus versus Godar, here on Tram. Alright. So spawn's definitely working, or no, they aren't working out there. They're gonna have to fix this. I thought they said that they had it fixed. So we'll try this again. All right. Nope. So we're apparently going to have to read this forever until we get the right spawns, or do we finally have the right spawn? No. Golden goes, I don't know what the command is. Oh no. I was kind of wondering if this was going to happen. Yeah, we're trying to get Marine top spawn here, so Uh, we'll see what happens there. I wonder if I could go through and... Alright, so it'll probably be another little bit here as people try to figure out what the heck is actually, you know, necessarily going to happen with the spawns. If they do, I don't know whether it is hard-coded or if we are just, you know... Oh. Oh man, can I not? But I don't know what's going to happen with that, as far as the command goes. Guess what, guys? I don't have time to go through and time people out for only 10 seconds. So if you get timed out, like that guy just did, you're getting timed out for 10 minutes. I'm sorry. Unless somebody else shows up that has mod. I apologize. But you're just going to have to deal with it. No spam, please. Anyway, so we're going to be moving into, as I said, moving into round one. Once they figure out how the heck do we get these spawns to work right, hopefully hopefully it will be, you know, soon. As I think I said, I'm hoping that Godar is going to be able to, like, you know, sort out their issues. Maybe it's not going to be for necessarily this game, because obviously it's happening right now, so, you know, it's still their week one match. Alright, there we go. No, wait. Timer not going. Okay, I think that Golden has figured out the command, theoretically, so we can actually do this match. So we're going 10 seconds now, actually into the actual round. Onward to battle in 5 seconds, round one. Titus versus Godar here on Tram. Alright. So now that people have spawned where the heck they're, you know, meaning to spawn, we're going to see everybody just get out of the base. No gorges down there. Just everybody getting the heck out of base. Normal sort of start up there for Titus with Arms Lab. And it looks like pretty much all of Godar has come up here to hub. And is sort of setting up. Golden's by himself in North Tunnels at this point, just kind of not really sure to move forward. Of course, he is parasited, so moving forward would probably end up with Volk winning that, just, you know, by the fact that he has the visual advantage there. Sicknick and Zephyr are moving over now into, server room, where there are basically the rest of Godar all sitting there waiting. Icefelt and Sammy are moving over to try and flank, sneaking as they move through the vent there, but they've since been spotted, and they're going to pick off Zephyr really quickly, and looks like Bitey's going to get the kill on Sicknick, and they're going to clean that up and be able to get onto that RT. Golden's running back. Oh, nope, sorry, it's Rantology that's running back. Golden apparently got picked off elsewhere. She gets a lot of chip damage onto Icefelt, but he's still alive there in the corner, and she's going to go down to Alcalde. But all the skulks now that are now here in server room, yes, they took down the RT that was there in platform, but they're all chipped. So if Golden has the right position in the hallway there, he should be able to take them down, especially with Zephyr now arriving to help. We're saying over here that Gorgeous has basically worked his way down, sort of into repair. There's a couple skulks in the general area, but not too much going on there. It looks like we're going to have Sicknick showing up to help him out over in that area. It's like Golden is trying to possibly bait down Sammy G from the ceiling. I'm pretty sure that since he has regen, that he knows he's there. He heard the regen noise. And Zephyr's easily able to take Sammy G out from that nice long hallway. I mean, it's just a shooting gallery pretty much for the skulks. Well, for the Marines taking down the skulks. Saying that Alcalde snuck back to Ore. He's chomping on that RT, but at least for now he's been chased away. Now this is an interesting standoff. We got Golden sitting on one side of the vent, and Zephyr all by himself now over by the tech point. He's going to end up going down here because 3 skulks versus 1 Marine that it's going to go in the way of Godar. Golden now being chased by all the remaining skulks. Bitey going down, then Icefelt going down. Heracles out of the hive. He ends up running on over to help out. He's really chipped though. Rant might be able to take either of them out. And they've really just been denying the res on this top part of the map, which is definitely helping them out. However, look at Logi. We got Sicknick and Gorgeous. They push forward from all the way from repair, and we're able to go and actually cap down in Logi. So they're out. They're pulling 3 skulks over here. Volk, Bitey, and Icefeld all over to come and try and deal with these guys. Finally getting the power up. So if they clear them out, 1 skulk left. Just Icefeld versus Gorgeous. Gorgeous ends up taking him down. So taking a look at the res graph, you can see it's been pretty slow res-wise as far as Godar goes. Golden running in there to go and support Gorgeous over in Logi. And they have armor 2 coming up soon. They're going for weapons 1 first, which is always kind of a weird choice if you're used to thinking of the get weapon or armor 1 and then you get the other one next. But since they're going for armor 2, I'm assuming that means that they're probably reasonably confident. I would assume so, that they're reasonably confident in their shooting ability, and that having that extra little bit of survivability will win the engagements rather than just a little bit extra damage. So Alcalde able to take down that extractor as Golden comes into the room. However, he does end up going down. We do see a lurk up. That'll be Bitey. We got the other one up. That'll be Icefeld. So Bitey and Icefeld are going to end up kind of swooping around here and possibly taking out Gorgeous, who is now backing up into the hallway. Gets rid of Ice's armor. Sicknick a little bit too late to join in there, but it looks like they'll probably be able to regain control of logistics. But at this point, Titus is up to 7 RTs. They've slowly, gone along and grabbed all the RTs north of Logi on the left side of the map. Alcalde moves in there both into Sicknick and Rantology. I mean, 1 Skulk versus 2 Marines who are trying to be a little bit stealthy there. Yeah. Meanwhile, the whole pack of Godar is now moving up the right side of the map, clearing that res, but they have Grant and Sicknick going on into the hive. The shells are spread around a little bit, so that they can't just stand in one place to pick them off. I mean, there's this nice box blocking the one at the very least, and the hive is kind of blocking the other. Here, Alcalde's moving in there, trying to take them down. He really gets a lot of damage into Rant. She's exiting the room. Here come both lurks. They almost take down Bitey, who's going to retreat back to the hive. Icefeld's still alive. He still has a reasonable amount of health left too, so he's going to try and take out Rant before anything else happens. Bitey's healed up a little bit as well, and Heracles is coming back, but he has no HP, so he's going to go down. Ice is all healed again, as is Bitey. They're going to really try to take that down, but Bitey gets clipped around the corner there by Zephram, and Ice has to flee the scene before he also ends up dead. They're at 27 res for the non-lurks at this point, so it's still going to be a while before they're able to get fades. They did lose a couple RTs there. Godar's taken down 4 of Titus's extractors so far, which it's okay. But at this point, they're sitting at 7 again. Titus has done a really awesome job at making sure that they've pretty much had res. Rant is able to save that extractor. Let's see, 4%. Not too shabby. It looks like Bitey will be able to go through and clear that in a couple bites, no problem. Zeph ends up pistoling down Heracles. And we got shotguns up in the form of Sicknick and Gorgeous moving into ET. They got Volk and Sammy G there to deal with, along with Icefeld, and they do have a nice crag placement over here, so that way they can at least get some sort of healing. Though if they get chased into that hallway, it's not going to help them so much. Icefeld now keeping his distance, of course, because doesn't want to get that shotgun to the face. This is a U.S. East server, so he is at a ping disadvantage at this point. Now he's got Heracles and Volk both in there to help him out, and now we got Sammy G as well. So pretty much everyone in here to try and clear these shotguns and possibly get rid of that T-res. Meanwhile, it looks like we just had a little engagement over by Logi in the hallway right outside the hive. 1 Skulk down. Golden's by himself. He's going to get swarmed. He almost takes out Volk. Ice is pretty low. He swoops over to get a little bit of healing from the crag through the wall, and not to mention get out of line of fire, and they end up taking him down. Seeing stuff getting bitten everywhere. You can see they placed an OBS here, which is interesting. Able to see have a line of sight over there in. Oh, okay. Have a line of sight into ET, and that got taken down. And we have the hive drop down there in ET. Zephram's up at the top here in server room, but he has Volk and Bitey. Bitey's on the RT, and Volk is hiding up in the ceiling. There's some really nice raptors up there that allows them to hide and stay at a line of fire. Zeph and Gorgeous now going to move forward down into Mez, where the RT has recently been taken down. It looks like we're going to get a phase gate up there. It looks like as for them, they're up to weapons 1 as well, so they're in a pretty good position at this point in the game. They've had some res taken down. Golden's just obliterating stuff over there. Looks like that was Alcalde going down. And they have Heracles out as a Gorge, trying to build up that hive. He already puts down some Hydras and stuff too, so that's going to definitely help them build up that that hive. Meanwhile, everybody's pretty much called at this point to come defend that. We still have what looks like one Marine. That'd be Sicknick over there on the left side of the map by himself, trying to cap stuff. Who's just hanging out in repair. But meanwhile, we got all the rest of Titus over in the Mez and Hub area. Alcalde getting through. He's up and heading towards platform. It looks like he's going to go bite that res, and they got Rant chasing after him. So the hive has been completed, and here they come with Heracles the Gorge, and we got Sammy G and Valk both up as fades at this point. Storming through, Valk actually already losing his armor, but actually both fades without armor, and they wisely retreat to the hive there. It's, you know, really easy place to go heal. Heracles in there doing his Battle Gorge thing, and he ends up going way too far, and ends up dying as the Gorge. They do have the a phase gate triangle set up now. It's not exactly the most common one that you'd see. Instead of Hub, they have Mez. Okay. It's not too much of a difference on the map, but currently we see the third phase gate is over here in repair. I'm assuming that should they be able to go through and clear and basically safely lock down down here in Logi, where you can see the Bitey's heading up in the ceiling there, and they're going to have Sammy G come in to try and clear out Gorgeous. But if they can lock it down, I'm assuming that phase gate is going to be walked up to here in Logi, and that'll definitely mean the end of the game if that is able to happen. So we've got some arcs rolling along already, and that's gonna be really easy. That's gonna be really easy for them to try and arc, just because, well, they're already set up at this point, and just this hive always, at least to me, always feels really open. I mean, they can just park the arcs, you know, somewhere in this area around the keep clear thing, and hit the hive from there. And in fact, they're arcing from there, and they're hitting some of the stuff that's in front. So they got Rant, Gorgeous, and Golden, and Zephyr all there, guarding the hallway to protect the arcs. Heracles, assuming he's not a Gorge in the hive, doesn't have enough res at the moment to actually become a Gorge and come Bilebomb that. They don't have Bilebomb at the moment either, but they're researching Shade Hives, so if they do have a Shade somewhere, they could slow down those arcs. However, the hive is toast. It didn't even get a finish. Maybe it just barely finished by the time that was done. So there goes that control that they had on that side of the map, along with some of the healing that was happening. I guess that could just barely hit the hive from there. Interesting. Obviously, we don't have the little circles for range on those arcs at the moment when you're in spectate. So. Seeing Golden over here versus Bitey and Icefeld, and Golden does go down to Bitey. They're going to get on that gate, but we got Gorgeous running on in there. Heracles coming through, delaying that a little bit, and looks like the gate will probably go... Nope! Saves the gate at 13%. Icefeld going out through the vent into ore, where there's currently nobody, so he's pretty much good to go there. One shotgun getting cycled over there. Sammy G and Valk both just took somebody down, while Icefeld comes to join them. Sicknick and Rant both coming through the gate in Mez. Looks like Sicknick's going to be able to just hold them off right over there. So they wheeled at least one of the arcs up, and looks like that was to go and try and hit the PvE they'd set up behind the wall. So the Shade and the Crag, and that's going to be able to get hit from where it is currently. So we've got both Fades moving in on Zephyr and Sicknick. Not really taking too much damage. Okay, the Crag is now dead too, so they don't have the healing that they did before. They're just getting out of there, not really even hitting some of their swipes, but just trying to stay alive, which is definitely the good thing to do there. They're looking at the res. Looks like Alcalde will be the Onos, 'cause he's at 49 right now, so it's going to be a little while longer, especially since they're at four extractors at this point. You can see that harvesters, they've lost, Titus has lost some of their res. They're down to 4 when previously they were at 7. You see that Bitey's doing some work up there, trying to get the extractors down. But now that Godar's down to 3, we're seeing a huge push into repair. They immediately obliterate Golden, and Gorgeous is going to be next, and that gate in repair is pretty much going to be toast here. So while they're doing that, we've got, looks like they're going to be capping over here in ET as well. And wheeling the arcs around, probably just going to push them towards the main hive here as things are going along. Golden Rant and Gorgeous all coming into hub here versus both the Fades. Sammy G taking half his health out and leaving the room. Here comes Icefell. He takes down Rant. Valk losing half his health as well, but Icefell almost being taken down, but he's able to get out, get the final bite there and get out of the room alive. So the gate has since been moved up now to observation. Nice aggressive gate, right outside the hive. Definitely a good launching point to basically wrap this thing up. However, there is the hive now building here in the darkness in repair room. Both Fades again going into hub. Sammy G again. Thrown down to about 1/3 health. Not too bad. Especially since he's winning the engagements. And we're seeing some of the Titus's res just get, slowly chipped away. But since they're basically trading the left-hand res for the right-hand res, all things considered, it's going to be a net, net collect, what's the word I'm looking for? Net change of 0 res kind of thing. So we got the arcs moving up forward. They're clearing so that with the arcs not only don't take as much damage, but so they actually roll along faster. We see Alcalde in there as the Onos egg. He'll be hatched soon enough. We have Heracles as a Gorge again, who's going to be, looks like, trundling along here to get to the hive and repair. But here come the arcs. They are researching Bile Bomb. They do have the tunnel also dropped in base, so that once he goes over there and starts working on the hive in repair, it'll be fairly easy for him to get back, except for Sammy G is already taking quite a bit of damage, and it looks like the aliens are potentially grouping up at least to try and come and attack this. Since the arcs are now parked, they're starting to hit everything. It looks like that one shell is going to be the first victim. Or I guess it's actually out of range. Here comes Alcalde as the Onos into the engagement. Heracles bile bombing. He gets taken down very promptly. Icefell getting very low. He actually goes down right behind the box there. Sammy G and Alcalde now again pushing forward, but not really sure what to do there. They back out. Doing a good job at keeping their life forms alive, but there isn't much they can really do at this point against all those arcs that are just, sitting there walloping the hive. And since they weren't able to keep their original Shade Hive up, that's going to go down. However, they just lost all the Marines that were there. Sicknick running over to try and help. However, he's able to take down Icefield as a skulk, and that gate is now under attack, and that gate is pretty much gone, and potentially so are the arcs. However, at this point, Titus is still sitting at 5 res. They have 37 in the bank. And they've taken down the main hive. They can't respawn at this point, but looking at the hive, I mean, it's 66% grown. Heracles almost has enough to go Gorge again. However, he's going to get taken out right there. It doesn't look like... I don't know if there are any eggs still left in the hive, but at this point it has no infestation, so any eggs that were there are now dead. Or will be very soon. So Rant, Golden, and Zephyr just moving into the hive. They're planning on ending this. Yeah, sure, they still have the Onus left. Oh, we have Bitey up as the Gorge, and we're actually seeing another chair being dropped just in case. And Alcalde goes down as the Onos, swarming into that giant group of Marines, and Valk going down as well. There is no healing in this room with the hive being unbuilt. I mean, yes, there's Bitey as the Gorge, but it's pretty limited. You can see there's this giant field of medpacks now after that engagement in the corner, and both the shotguns are sitting there and about to go away. But looking at the P-Res, I mean, Zephyr could buy a couple more shotguns for those who don't have them. And this is just a matter of going in there and trying to finish this up. They do actually have at least one arc that is rolling along here. It looks like it is just one that's coming to join them over here in South Tunnels. We have 2 Gorges now, Bitey and Icefeld, both doing as much healing on Sammy G as they possibly can. It's going to be almost forever until Godar is able to get another Onos. That is one of the problems at this point, and at this point, I think most people would just say it's pretty much over at this. There you go, both gorges getting completely annihilated. Oh, Sammy G left there alone. I mean, there is the crag, there is the hive, so that, he'll have some healing there for sure. But there's kind of 4 Marines in there. Rand, Sicknick, Golden, Zephram. And here comes Heracles out of the hive to come help. They're able to take down, looks like Golden was the one who got taken down. Sammy G moving in, has to go retreat to the hive again to heal because he is out of armor. He's being chased around the hive by Sicknick, who he was able to pick off, especially since he got sort of trapped with less room to move over there right by the hive itself. And they're actually able to clear that again. The hive is at full health too, so, but here comes the arc. It got one shot on the hive. And here's the thing, they're researching the biomass again, so they're gonna just like totally give up. We're seeing Heracles going gorge again. Sammy G still staying up as that fade. Looks like Bitey is turning into a lurk again. I think he was the closest one to being an Onos, but at this point there really is, they don't have that much time to wait. They have two RTs, one of which is going to be, well, 2.5 RTs, one of which is going to be killed down here in Logi. The other one was being built in here in shipping. We have things coming to base. So Volk is working on the the obs there. Didn't really do too much damage for it. Sicknick's already back through the gate to try and clear out those RTs. They're down to 2 RTs now. That'd be the one in base and the one down here, I guess, in shipping, which is still on infestation and alive. However, it won't be for particularly much longer. Or they're actually setting up some turrets down there to help defend that gate. That is a really nice forward gate, and we're seeing all the skulks and a lurk and a fade moving on into warehouse again. People are close to the gates, so they could just phase back through. We're saw both the skulks, or all the skulks getting destroyed there. Sammy G's low on energy, but not too bad on health, so he's able to get out. Looking over, you can see that Bitey was down without armor as well, so... But the thing is, they didn't need to use a beacon that time, and though they are a little bit low on res, at least for that particular instant, if they'd been able to force a beacon, that of course had made them less able to med, but... with the phase gates where they were and people's positions next to the phase gates, it's pretty much a just meds only kind of engagement, no beacon necessary. They are going to go for Crag Hive again, and it looks like Godar is going to try and fight this out. They do have plenty of res left, so they could go and maybe try and get some upgrades left, or upgrades up again. However, just looking at it, I mean... They have a phase gate on one side, and they have the Marine Natural on the other. There isn't really any place for them to go and try and get another RT, especially with the fact that there's this little arc parked here on the stairway that can hit the RT. Arcs have must have a much more, a much larger range than you'd particularly think. I think it's probably just right on the edge there, able to hit it. And just the fact that it's around the corner, it can't be bio-bombed. So, it looks like Sammy G may end up going down here. Though Heracles is out of the hive, so if he gets really desperate, he's actually floating around in the like, giant ceiling thing up there. Bitey ends up going down from a pistol. And he's just, Sammy G was able to hop in the ceiling long enough to be able to get his health back without dying. However, he's going to have to retreat back there again. I mean, that RT is now gone. They did take down the obs in base, it looks like. And Sammy G did go down in that engagement. Looks like he took a few steps too far. They also dropped a hive over in ET. But it's going to be going down here momentarily. As you can see, there it is, going down. They dropped another... Titus is like, forget this, you aren't going to be allowed to drop any more hives. Not that they can really afford it, because they're at 3 res with, no RTs. However, now they have to go find the new chair that did get taken down in base. Sicknick was working on building the new chair down here in ET, but it was base race kind of thing. Nobody was close enough, and they did end up taking down the hive there in repair. All right. So round 1. I think that potentially dragged on a bit more than was absolutely necessary, but obviously Godar was definitely going to, try and try and drag it out as much as they could, and see if they could possibly, work some magic and maybe get the base race at the end there. Especially since what is it? The words that I'm looking for are not appearing today. Especially since that if they'd had a Skulk or a Drifter a little bit closer to ET, they very well might have been able to go and poof the blueprint and not had to worry about that. I mean, the one in shipping was able to get destroyed, but since Versal dropped 2 of them, well, that much more of a chance for it to not get noticed. Yeah, I'm sorry if my bird is making noises. That's what she does. I tune her out, and it isn't quite as loud for me probably at the moment because, well, I'm wearing a headset. And dampens the noise a little bit. So let me do one thing here. I actually did want to go and do. All right, there we go. All right, I think I did that. All right, anyway. So Titus is ready, or no, Godar is ready to go, waiting on Titus to ready up so we can move on into round 2, and there we go. We're going to be moving on in, and seeing how this ends up going with Godar now as Marines. Assuming the, whole thing with readying up and ending in the right spot works. Slight roster change over there for Titus as well. As you can see now, Joshi is on the field. And Zephyr is sitting out. I think he's even sitting in chat now. I think I saw that in chat. Seeing a pretty standard split. We see Golden going Gorge here. And he will be putting up tunnels, it looks like, over here at the Naturals. Versal out of the hive. He's over there. He's going to come in and try and get a bite on Icefeld. He does get the Parasite, but that's about it. Valk was able to pick him off, and we'll see what happens there. Oh, Joshi gets picked out of the vent there, again by Valk. You can see that Rant and Gorgeous are both sitting up on either side of Hub, just waiting to see what happens and that kind of thing. It looks like Rant is able to get the Parasite there on Valk, so now Gorgeous is able to have the sight there to see if there is an opportunity for come in and take the engagement. He will be able to. And they're actually just kind of moving back and forth, trying to figure out where to go. Valk is almost around that corner there, which, again, would give Rant the opportunity to just jump on him. Well, now that he's kind of split up, but he's going to have Bitey and Sammy G moving down into Mez as well. So that's going to be 3 in this little lane. But they're just wisely choosing not to take that engagement. Meanwhile, over here we had Sicknick and Versal just working on the extractor here in ore a little bit. But Heracles jumped out of the chair and walked over there to come deal with that. Actually, instead of seeing tunnels on the Naturals, I actually see one that goes up here all the way to ET. The problem is that right now there's nobody over there, and it looks like we're going to see a Skulk coming through the tunnel as well. But we have 3 Marines coming over there, and they're going to start shooting that immediately. Golden already taking damage, and he has to duck back inside the tunnel. And here comes Gorgeous and Joshi. Joshi is already pretty well hurt. Golden gets taken out as he popped out of the tunnel. And they are going to be able to clean that up, but they've already lost the Gorge. So, I mean, it's not absolutely a necessity now. Just because, well, they already got the tunnels up and the tunnel is still alive. Versal did drop the Drifter there, or yes, it is Versal back in the hive at this point. He did drop the Drifter there, so they're going to be able to build the Crag and hopefully keep that tunnel alive, so that way that res that was spent on it isn't, totally useless. But we have Alcalde right around the corner. Gorgeous is coming over to try and scout things out, but he gets picked immediately off the wall. So interestingly, the Drifter is currently building the Harvester at this point, rather than the Crag. The tunnel is very low. It's at 31%. So if Alcalde and Bitey are able to move in there, they may be able to just snipe down the tunnel. Okay, the Drifter has been switched targets onto the Crag. The poor Drifter gets out of there with 6% health. They really need to clean out these 2 Marines before they end up losing all this stuff. I mean, that's a huge chunk of res there, at least between the Crag and the tunnel. But we got Sicknick and Gorgeous up as the Lurks. And they were able to clean that out, no problem. There's the Crag, so they can get healing there and continue on their way, especially with the Drifters there as well, also getting healed, so it's not sitting there at just a sliver of HP. Valk's by himself there. He gets a lot of damage into Sicknick, but he's still alive, so he's able to get out of there. We got Alcalde and Sammy G moving now into server again, and they'll probably move into Mez and see if they could finish the power there. They actually finished that RT, but only got the power up to 53% built. It is one of those problems if you don't have the power primed or completed when you finish the building. You know, pretty basic thing. Well, then the stuff in the room isn't going to work. Sickney going around, tries to get a bite on Sammy G there. He gets taken down by Joshi, and they're going to continue on. They do have Sicknick does have regen, so as long as he stays out of combat, he's going to be able to heal up even without going back to the Crag or the Hive. Looks like Bitey and Volk are going to be moving up into Mez. They may finish the power there, but not at this point. That RT is just going to sit there not doing anything, it looks like. They do sort of have Sicknick a little bit pinched, but he's able to get into the little vent system on the side of the room and get out of there. Nobody's finished the power. Alright, the power has been set and it is going to be completed, and they will be up to almost a good solid 6 RTs once they finish that. You see there's even more PvE built over here, and it looks like they're going to be trying to lock down ET as probably their next Hive again. But of course with the obs there, that'll pretty much cancel out the Shade. That is going to be built there, and we're actually seeing an armory built there as well. So they're setting up a nice little fortress up there in Mezzanine for Marines. And they'll get a phase gate probably there as well, and just lock it down. Kind of similar to what happened with Titus in the previous round. Taking a look quickly at the res graph, you can see that only 3 extractors have gone down, and they're sitting somewhere at an average of 5 for the last, 3 minutes. And shotguns also up, as you can see that Volk and Bitey do have both of them. There's the Robo, so it's a fairly similar play in that aspect. Rant's obviously using the Shade that has been moved back so that way they that way it doesn't quite get canceled immediately. We're seeing this huge engagement here. Basically all of Titus versus Bitey and Volk. Volk goes down after taking out Golden. Icefeld now coming up through the stairs. Sicknick spiking him from afar. He actually moves in to try and get that bite as well, and Gorgeous is able to get the spikes from down the hallway. Alcalde and Sammy G now working on the RT in logistics. And there was a Shade there as well. They took out the Gorge Tunnel, so that prevents that mobility across the map. They actually took out the OBS that was over here in Mez as well, so that got rid of phase tech. So while they're wiping out everything that the Marines dropped on the server side of the map, they're losing logistics. But at this point, losing 1 RT to cover the fact that they can now put the Hive in ET and clear out their Marine res in server and Mez. Well, let's look back at the RTs. Not too bad of a trade. Alright, so we got Golden barely surviving that engagement, and we've got Bitey and Volk putting up a new phase gate up there in Mez. I'm pretty sure the Drifter could see it from there, and you can see that the PvE has been moved up to cover this hallway, basically. We have Rant up as a fade, but she's pretty hurt at the moment. She needs to hang out right by that, right in this little sweet spot where there is a nice object blocking her from being shot at, and there's the Crag and the Shade. And now she'll be able to go in there and try and take that engagement, especially with Joshi and both lurks there as well. Alcalde moving a little bit far forward, and that was as a prime opportunity for Rant to jump in from the center of Hub and get a nice swipe on him. Sicknick in there trying to bite some shotgunners in the face. And he actually survives pretty much unscathed, so... And we have Heracles also over there as well. They don't have any comm on the Marine side, interestingly enough. They're just running it without a comm, and it looks like he just phased back so that way he could go take care of that. Looks like Sammy G is moving into Logi again. However, he's got Rant and Sicknick coming to kill him, so though he's going to get a reasonable amount of damage on that Harvester, it's, just been dropped, it's not really too threatened at this point. There's nobody also over there for now, so it'll be pretty easy to just cap that RT, no problem. That Shade's going to go down, however. We got 3 shotguns and a LMG moving in on the new Hive. It's only a 53% grown. I mean, they don't have a Gorge at this point, because Let's see, Versal's only at 2 res. Sicknick may end up going down, though. He's able to duck around the wall there and actually able to get out towards Mez, and all of them are just going to converge on the gate. Sicknick's going to have to go and just be very careful because he is at, what? Come back here. 37%. Definitely without armor. Definitely in danger, especially since that is so easy for them to get pinched in. But it looks like nobody's in platform anyway, so they can just go as a train into the Marine start up here in Warehouse. And just jump on the gate and do a reverse grind gate and make sure that even though that gate just got built, well, there's kind of every alien on the map pretty much on that gate. Here comes Icefell. He moved back in, and Rant's going to move in to try and take him down. Some spike damage there from the Lurks, and they're able to take out the phase gate, no problem. The beacon will pull all the Marines back so that all of Titus can now go out through the map and go back to that gate and take that one down. So very good to force the beacon there. I mean, that just annihilates the map control at this point. You're seeing that the group of 3 there, Bitey, Vulk, and Icefeld, are now moving up towards server to try and, recap and possibly try and claim Mezzanine again. Taking a look. 6 RTs down for of Godar's extractors, but they're still sitting at 5. Well, almost 5. And is there any healing there? There isn't any healing anymore now in ET. But it looks like we're going to see another push into the base to try and pull them back and use even more res. They still have enough for a beacon, so they have to figure out what they're going to bite and then see if they can pull all the Marines back again. They are not letting Godar have any position on the map at all. Just every time they get to some point where it seems like they might be able to, drop something and, maybe get a phase gate up again, that is about when Titus is like, hey, wait, there are like 4 guys over here, let's go to base. And they take that opportunity to force another beacon. Obviously, since they still have 5 RTs, or almost 5 RTs, 4 in one building somewhere. Looks like that's the one in repair that is currently ghosted. You can see that Sammy G is going over there to build that. With the 4 RTs, it's not like it's impossible to get that res back, and Joshy's actually going to go down there. I think he might have been a little bit low on energy, too. Gorge is also pretty low, but he gets around the corner, so he's out of line of fire. So they're down one fade at this point. Not too bad. I mean, looking at the res, Golden's at 36 res, and obviously he would be the one that would be going Onos when the res is appropriate. Titus is at 4 RTs, and since they're even with Godar, I mean, that's not the greatest for Godar. You never want to have, the same amount of RTs as the alien team. You always want to have at least one more, if not more. But 5 RTs, okay, now they're up to 5 completed. They have another one dropped somewhere. Looks like the one up in platform, which had gotten taken down. But it looks like Gorgeous and Golden are working on the one there in repair. And Rant and Sicknick on the one up in ore. There's nobody on that side of the map, so taking out the res over there is going to be really easy, and I misclicked there. Valk, Bitey, and Alcalde now working on the remains of the tunnel. That was the only thing there. It was left there as kind of a giant cyst and not really doing its tunnel duties. However, they're leaving the gate open again, so that way they're going to try and run back and save that, but there's so many life forms on that gate. It's just gone. It's a pile of rubble at this point. Icefell was trying to save it, but he, running in there, there's kind of a fade and a couple lurks and a skulk. It was just not going to go well, so they're going to move the gate to hub. A much more traditional gate there. They have to build the power up first, though. Bitey's working on the gate while Vulk and Alcalde try and get the power up. Power's up, so they're going to finish up that gate. They had a nice scan placement there to tell them when people were coming. But they're going to lose the power over in repair, which looks like that'll probably end up being another hive there, potentially. And they're really going to have to clear out the cyst chains there. Of course, if they leave the cysts hitting all those, hitting the RT, hitting power nodes and all that nonsense, that's going to take the armor down on those buildings and allow it to be much easier for them to be able to clear them later, for Titus to clear them later. Icefeld a little all by himself there in the hallway to ore. He gets a little bit of chip damage into Rantology, but is totally okay and able to continue on into ore and try and recap that. They actually dropped a hive instead of in repair, which you'd think would be the place to drop the hive just because, well, it's close. Joshy is the Gorge, and he actually drops they actually dropped the hive up there in server. So sort of a sneaky hive, except for the fact that it's just been scanned, and there's no emergency Gorge exit over there for Joshy to be able to get out. So at this point, it may be just a giant distraction. In fact, it was enough of a distraction, apparently, to let the aliens take down the hub gate there as well. Just Godar is doing a terrible job at making sure to keep these gates up. Yes, there's been some really good plays to make sure that Gates have been abandoned. And at this point, they're just going to beacon. I'm not... so that way they get everybody back, I guess. I mean, there haven't even been... I don't think there's even been much as far as upgrades go from Godar recently, either. They've just been spending all their res on meds and gates. And though, yes, the map control is incredibly important, it looks like we're going to see 3 shotgunners, 4 shotgunners at the very least, going into that new hive. Gorgeous taking a little bit chip there from Alcalde, who's going to go run up and join the group. But we have Rantology and Sicknick, and of course Joshi there as the Gorge, all ready to try and take this engagement. And they're just going to run right into the hive. I mean, it's a nice bone wall there to split them up and give the life forms a little bit more chance to take them down, but Sicknick ends up getting completely wasted over there. And we've got still... Oh, and we actually lose Gorgeous as well. So the only life form still up will be Rantology. And they're actually going to just put a gate in server. They're like, forget this. We don't want to walk. Let's just get a gate up and just take the hive. And they drop the hive over there in ET. I mean, Titus has had plenty of res. Looking at the res graph, they've been matching Godar, no problem as far as res goes. Again, it's not something that you want to see happen. And of course, killing that hive is basically a really basic thing to do when you've got a gate 10 feet from it. They're going to clear everything out of there, and they really just need to go through, kill all the sys chains, and just try to lock it down. Really get some of the position back on the map. I mean, the server gate, it doesn't really give you much as far as map control goes. It gives you an easy shortcut to get back to... Oh, Alcalde not waiting for anybody to catch up with him. He almost goes down. He does end up going down to Rantology there, who was just hiding right behind the box. He was so separated from everybody else, there wasn't really anybody there to be able to help him. There's 2 shotguns now down in hub, and there's cysts everywhere too, so they're going to start losing some of the armor on the power node there. And if that's left alone, it'll be really easy for, if they do clear the hub gate again, for next time when that hub gate goes down, to just go and, oh, Bitey did not cycle that other shotgun, so that one did go down. It'll be really easy for them to go and just take down the hub power and pretty much stop that for the foreseeable future. And now they're going to go after that other hive. They take out Sicknick as the Skulk again. However, we do have Golden up as the Onos. And he's coming rampaging in there along with 2 fades. Gorgeous did end up going fade this time, and Sicknick will probably... Well, he's at 48 res, so that's a nice borderline there between... whether going Lurk again or going Onos is, somewhat of a question. I mean, they're at 4 RTs, almost 5. So it's not like it would be particularly long if he just is planning on waiting that out. They have Joshi there as the Gorge somewhere. Not quite sure where he is at the moment. But anyway, Godar is really trying hard to try and defend that gate. Even Heracles jumping out of the chair again to come and try and help. He just does not want to stay in the metal box that commanders are supposed to stay in. Yep, there's Joshi over there by the hive. So combine that with Bile Bomb being, 2/3 done. It's going to be really hard for them to be able to hold on to that gate with, 2 fades and Onos and almost a second Onos as well. And the Shade Hive has been completed. They have 1 fail down at the moment. And just look at how small this phase gate triangle is. It's just this tiny... Oh, okay, never mind. It's 2 gates in there. I thought that was a sentry that had been built over there, but I guess that doesn't make any sense. So 2 gates there in hub, so that way if they try and kill one, they can just recycle it and go after the other. Bitey moving forward, trying to chase the Gorge, because hunting Gorges is very tempting. And at this point, if they're spending so much time defending these 2 gates... I might actually allow Titus to go and just melt all the rest of the res. You can see that Titus is up to 5 RTs now. Taking a look at the res graph. 13 RTs down in 17 minutes, so good rate there. And we've got a fade actually going after the RT there in Ore. So looking at the grouping here, pretty much all of Godar just hanging around hub. I mean, yes, it means that they still have some sort of launching point at this section of the map. However, AA is almost done, so I'm assuming that may mean that they're going to be planning on going HMGs. Looking at the P-Res scenario, yeah, they're doing pretty well on P-Res. Yep, there's HMGs already started. And Armor 2 will definitely help out with these Onai as well. We got Sicknick as the other Onos, and he's going to go after one of the gates. They're going to beacon through, but which way is the gate going to go? It's going to go through the middle gate there and hub first, and we got Sicknick on one gate while everybody else swarms the other one. They have some hallucinations joining in the fun as well. They're able to wipe out everybody but Heracles at this point. The one gate goes down, the other one dies as well. So that map position in hub, totally gone, and now both Onai are working on the power there in hub, and that's going to pretty much mean the end. However they do, everybody has HMGs, I think. Yes, everybody has HMGs. HMGs for everyone. They're going to see if they can try and wipe out some of those life forms. Gorgeous was trying to hide around the corner there to see if he could pick somebody off, but a line of 4 HMGs is going to be really hard to deal with. Rand's able to just go in and get one swipe, and that's about it before it starts getting really dangerous. So they're going to try and work on getting the hub gate back up, it looks like. The problem with the HMGs, of course, is that they are really bad at killing structures. And here comes all the life forms into the bone wall. They're able to take down one of the HMGs, too. Icefeld and the other down as well. Alcalde running in with a shotgun. He ends up getting taken down. And all these HMGs are just in this giant pile over here by the power node. They were able to get the power up to I don't know what percent, but partially built. Seeing another round of a couple HMGs running in there. At least one. Yeah, it looks like it's just Bitey with an HMG at this point. Everybody else does not have enough res except for Sammy G. And the Onai are just like setting up, ready to move in on this. I mean, that is the problem with having everybody moving in to build the power there. They didn't have the right position there to be able to just, you know, do the whole thing with shoot the aliens off your friends. When you're all clumped together there, it makes it much easier to just, you know, destroy everyone. Sicknick's hunting Bitey there with the HMG, and he's able to take him down. And the only 2 surviving Marines were Sammy G and Alcalde, who end up getting taken down. Looking at the res scenario again. On aliens, at least, you know, it'll be a little bit before Rant's able to go Onos as well. But if she gets to the 3rd Onos and this game is still going, well, that's basically the end. Of course, there's always the option like that. I don't remember if it was a scrim or what, but there was one infamous game where the Onai rotated the wrong direction around the CC. I don't think Titus will ever have that happen incorrectly again. They actually have dropped the hive over there in server again. So that'll be their 3rd hive, and there's like, it's pretty much going to go on challenge most likely. Golden's over there. He's going to chase after Alcalde, who's nicely around the corner. Here come the hallucinations. Charging on in. They take out some hallucinations. Power's down in server to make it that much harder for Marines to fight in. Rant's just like hanging out in base, just being obnoxious. Here comes Sicknick and Gorgeous as well. Rant's getting kind of low.
Command station under attack.
However, she is close to... she's basically 1 tick away from being an Onos as well. You get that 3rd Onos, you're... call it good. But she's able to get out through the vent to ore. Sicknick running away, trying not to die. He is really low, though, but Icefelt and Volk are just too far behind. Golden running through there, being a giant distraction. However, that might have been a little bit problematic as well. He's getting shot down the hallway, and they still probably have line of sight, but he's able to get around the corner just barely. And Ono's at 8% health there. I don't know how much that is numbers-wise, but it's not very much. Okay, yes. Compared to like a Skulk, that is a significant quantity of health. But for the most part, it is still a fair amount of HP that they'd still have to get through. And they're going to try and move a forward gate up now to repair. The power does have to be rebuilt, but they have 3 guys on that at the moment. It looks like Ramp had no problems hearing that, and we're seeing something blinking in base, and that'd be Gorgeous, swatting at the obs. Fades, of course, don't do that much damage to buildings. So he's just being kind of annoying because there's no way that the armor is done on that building. If the armor was down, you can see that Rant almost got taken out in that engagement. If the armor was down, it'd be, you know, a whole different issue. But Sicknick and Golden now converging on the phase gate on the corner, each one taking a different Marine, and that gate being in the corner, no room for Marines to jump out and try and, you know, escape. Valk trying to snipe at them from across the room, but really, it's a couple of Onai. It's not going to be particularly all that much damage. And the beacon pulling the Marines back again. Another round of HMGs for everyone. Metallurgy's up to 67 res. If she does something stupid and ends up dying, no problem. Gorgeous just hiding in the corner there. Nobody saw him. That is a nice little area for him to just, like, you know, be almost completely hidden there. And now, guess what? There's an Onos and a Fade in base. They're going to go after the Obs and try and take that down. Heracles immediately jumps out of the chair. We have Umbris getting splashed in there by Joshi. Oh, we have two Marines down. The Obs is down. We see Marines running back through ore. That'd be Volkbiting and Icefelt. They take out Hallucination. They're being chased by Sicknick. And there's just utter chaos going in here with the Umber, the Fades, the Ona, the Icefeld on the wrong side of the wall there, and they're going to pick off the last couple Marines and now go converge on the IPs. Alcalde respawns, and somewhere underneath this giant pile of aliens, there was another Marine that ended up dying, and at this point, it's just GG. Alright, so I don't know whether we're going to be switching maps here. I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, wrong. Am I hitting the right button? There we go. Alright, so yeah, we are going to be swapping servers. We'll see what one we end up on. I'm guessing I will just follow somebody. Alright, let me take a look here, figure out who I'm going to be following along. Alright. So taking a look at what's been going on in chat. Yeah, I guess the bone wall on the power node thing just happened a little while ago for you guys. Yeah, I think that was definitely a bad call on their part. I mean, you get everybody right in that corner. Nice little bone wall to keep them all right where you want them, and then hello all the aliens. I see I see Nesh there in chess, and Godar has no luck. Yeah. As I said, I feel bad for Godar. I really want them to figure out by the end of the season what the heck their issues are and have, like, you know, half a chance at doing reasonably well come finals time. But it'll be really nice if they're able to, you know, make some sort of progress with that, because it's, I mean, last season they having all kinds of crazy comm issues, and right now they don't have their normal comm. Just stuff is not lining up for them, and I feel bad about it, 'cause you always want the person who's the underdog to maybe stop being the underdog and start being, you know, okay. Before Virtual Dejection ended up folding, then they were the underdogs. And, okay, Godar wasn't, I don't know whether they ever played each other, how much of a, division of skill there would be between them. But it's like, okay, then there are two underdogs or something. But Godar's been around forever, and I don't know. I just want them to have some better luck and, just generally do better. Anyway. Yeah, with the HMGs, one of the other problems with it is they didn't have the engagement there that happened that they pretty much needed to be able to use the HMGs effectively. They do not really do as much damage now to buildings and stuff. So, killing cysts with HMGs, not exactly ideal. If they'd had a bunch of PvE up, that'd also not be ideal. Oh, look, a thingy. Just generally, it would have ended up being a lot better for them if they'd been able to go into an engagement with those HMGs and be like, yep, there's the Onos. Everybody shoot it, and it'll die. And yeah, that they might have been able to wipe both of those Oni, and then it'd have to be up to the Fades to both be going Onos next, I believe. Obviously, don't have the exact res numbers at this point to be able to go back and check that, but I think that both the Fades were reasonably close for that. I know Joshi did end up going Gorge, so I guess it would be one of the Fades. And then it would have been one of the Lurks then next, I guess. I'm sure there would have been somebody else in there that would have been... Yeah, it would have been Rant going for third Onos. And then Gorgeous, I think it was. So it would have been Rant, then Gorgeous as the next set of two Oni. But they didn't have the chance to kill the first two. And it's just like, not, just things weren't lining up for Godar. And obviously we have moved on to Summit. This is the second map. We are on a Euro server, so you can see that, you know, some of us have some pretty ugly ping and other people have some not quite so ugly ping. And this time it looks like we have Zephram playing and we have, okay, who's sitting out? Looks like Rantology is going to be sitting out. Yeah, I see somebody in chat here saying, first game Onos were so ineffective compared to the second game. So I think that is pretty true at this point. I mean, they definitely did some very good plays there from Titus, making sure to waste as much of Godar's res as possible on beacons, especially since, like, you know, just going through, having everybody pulling all the Marines off the gates, and then either killing a gate somewhere, whether it be the one in base or, you know, elsewhere to make it so they can't just run back, and then swarming the base. And there goes 10 res. And there goes all the map position. If you didn't kill the gate that was out, you know, somewhere on the field, guess what? You could do it now. And we're gonna move right into round 3 here. Let's see, Titus is up 2. And onward to round 3. The first one here on Summit. We'll see how this goes. Anyone can spawn anywhere, so let's see what happens here as the game starts. And we've got Titus up here in Atrium. So they're gonna swarm on out of base, as is Godar. Obviously, just normal arm slap start, nothing too crazy there. We've got 3 over here on the reactor core side. And we've got 4. We got a bunch of skulks swarming into reactor core. Sicknick getting taken down first. He's split up a little bit too much from Gorgeous, and they're just going to swarm on that half-built extractor, and it's just going to get obliterated. Golden moving in there. He's able to take down Vulcan and Sammy G. Bitey taking him out, however. And moving over here over towards Joshi and Crevice. He's gotten that RT built. But Bitey and Alcalde are both over there parasiting him from either side and generally being somewhat obnoxious. Bitey's moving in there. He's baiting out some of the bullets, giving Alcalde enough of an opening to move in and easily get that kill while Joshi's back is turned. After losing that initial RT, we've got Sicknick and Gorgeous now moving down into Data. There isn't anybody in there at the moment, but that's okay. Sammy G is kind of sneaking along up behind him. He's actually in the vent up there. You can sort of see through it. And obviously with Gorgeous parasited, that's a good indicator of where the heck they are. Except from Golden and Joshi, sort of in the Summit area. Looks like Zeph is possibly going to be moving into... Yeah, he's moving into flight, but we'll see if he's going to be capping that or not. Alcalde's hiding up in the little thingy on the ceiling. Or I guess he isn't even on, he's just hiding behind the little beam there. Just waiting for Zeph to move into the right position so he could, you know, get forward and bite him. But it looks like he's only just gonna, you know, get the parasite and leave. Meanwhile, there were 3 skulks over here versus, it was either Golden or Joshi. They're both dead right now, so either way, one of these skulks went down in that. And we've got Icefelt fleeing across the ceiling here in Data. He does have regen, so he's going to regen a little bit and possibly be able to try and fight Gorgeous, but it looks like he's just going to circle around and head back towards Reactor Core, where Golden is going to be running through. I think they just heard each other because Golden obviously started sneaking. He's going to try and get some a little bit of damage on him through the hallway there. Icefelt circling around, coming out through the vent. Golden sneaking along. Zephram now also entering over in Reactor, and you can see that there's a little bit of, there's a skulk in the vent somewhere over by Flight. I think Icefeld is now out of the vent. Zephram shooting at him a little bit, and Golden's just waiting in the vent, trying to shoot out behind him. They sort of chase him out of the vent, and now he's running around the ceiling. And Golden picks him off and cleans that up right from inside the vent. 3 skulks now heading into Data. Poor Gorgeous was in there trying to build that extractor alone. It's actually built, so they just need to tap the power. But there are 3 skulks trying to make it so that that whole spending all that time in res trying to build it in the first place is useless. Heracles going down, Bitey going down. Now all that's left is Sammy G, who's able to take down Zephram, and Golden's able to clean that up. So he just needs to go tap the power. I think he's and get that rolling along. Meanwhile, we got Sicknick and Valk over here. It looks like Valk just took down Joshi, who was also over in this area. And here comes Heracles and Bitey. Sicknick not quite able to get that last bullet into Volk to kill him. So he ends up going down, wasting a little bit of all the Skulks' times. Golden down here has a nice hallway to shoot down. Here comes Alcalde moving right in on him, along with Sammy G, who I think might have gotten blocked there a little bit. It looks like he was floating in the air a little bit too long, but either way, they're able to clear out Golden, no problem. Flight Controls RT just goes down, so 2 RTs down, 3 minutes. You know, they've been up to a max of 5 RTs. And Gorgeous is in there capping in Crossroads. So far, it isn't looking too bad. Summit can be forgiving, but at the same time can be unforgiving. So we'll have to see how this continues to go. Power's now up in Cross, so that RT is generating some lovely res for them. Armor 2 almost done. And obviously with both the lurks up, we have Icefeld and Bitey both up as lurks again. They're probably going to go over here and be able to clear Joshy. Golden's running in at the same time, so if either of those lurks gets really hurt, alright, they're just going to leave. Oh, no, maybe not. We actually have Sammy G also up as lurks, so 3 lurks from them. And they are able to clear that no problem. Icefeld's going to be able to get out potentially, but he actually doubles back to try and help out here in Cross, where Gorgeous and Sicknick are just slowly scooting along in. But with the 3 lurks, that definitely makes things a bit more confusing. The only thing that might make it less confusing is that one of those lurks does currently have a shadow skin, as far as I can tell. That would be Sammy G, that's a shadow lurk. So 2 of those lurks, easy to get confused. The other one, not so much. We do have one person creeping into the hive here. That'd be Zephyr. He's going to, looks like, go after one of the shells. The one right there in the back. Heracles out of the hive in a flash. He's able to go take him down. Actually, it was Icefeld that got the kill on him there. Vault getting driven away by Golden there, and he has to go through the vent. I mean, he does have regen, so all things considered, he's not going to be too badly hurt. That's going to be able to get out of there. Bitey's getting chipped really, really hard there by Gorgeous's shotgun and Sicknick's LMG. Trying to get out of there. Joshy almost had the pinch, but not quite. And he may end up going down here. He's able to get some damage into Sammy G, who's now going to escape out through vent. I think both the lurks now, or all 3 of the lurks are now back down in the hive, and it looks like they're finally spreading out again now after healing up. So we'll probably be seeing, yep, we will be seeing Bitey sort of encroaching onto Cross, changes his mind. It looks like Icefeld is also set up there in the vent, so they may be planning to try and come in and try and clear something. Possibly Cross, but it looks like we might actually see a push into base now. They are pretty far away. The closest one is going to be Joshy and the spawner. Well, and of course Verso, who's right there in the lovely box there. Golden spawns back in, but he ends up going down. There is no obs at this point. They do have an armory, so if they could be building a field ob somewhere. And they do build a field obs. They're beaconing instantaneously. The hive goes down to 64%, or the chair goes down to 64%. They actually built the field obs right down here in vent. I could see the grouping of Marines down there, so I suspected that was what was going on. Anyway, we got one IP back up. Welding that chair up, and they recycle that obs because, well, now it's kind of useless. The group of lurks now working on res, and that definitely will set Titus back a bit. Not only did they, were they forced to spend 10 res, along with the unrecoverable res from building the obs, but of course that means that now they lost the res that they had in Crossroads. It means that they will potentially lose the res that they had over here in Data. As you can see, Alcalde is heading in that direction. But they get this RT and reactor chipped a bit more. And we see both the lurks just swarming around over here in flight. You can see the crag set up. So if they're able to hold over on that side of the map, that may be a sign that that is their preferred side to try and get a second hive. Sicknick does have a shotgun here, and he and Zephyr are just kind of creeping right along, hoping that some unfortunate lurk will wander right into their shotgun's path. Icefeld actually goes down here. A nice shotgun blast there from Golden, who's still barely alive there, getting spiked like crazy. And they were able to go in there and clear him out. So that's shotgun down, but they lost a lurk in the process. It looks like over here in flight that is going to get cleared out. And the lurks are going to swarm poor Joshy, who gets taken out there by Volk. Gorgeous also getting swarmed. Another shotgun that probably won't be reclaimed. There's nobody already on that side of the map, and given the time that the shotguns last, or any dropped thing lasts, it's pretty much a 20 res down the drain. It's just unfortunate for him that he ended up running into all the aliens, but so it goes. Sicknick and Zephram now working down here in Comp Lab. They're just kind of capping as they go along, and it looks like we're going to see another push into base. It's been scanned down. They know that there's at least 5. Now there's 6. Everybody's here. Versal actually jumps out of the chair. I guess he's confident enough that between those that are there and the 2 IPs that they're going to be able to respawn in time. Both the skulks are pretty low. Icefeld going down, and now that what's left is Big Daddy and Bitey. Versal and Gorgeous respawning. They're able to chase out Sammy G. He gets very low. He's down to what? 22%, I think that said. Bitey, on the other hand, he's perfectly fine. But on the other hand, they've lost 2 shells, and no, never mind. They lost 1 shell, which might have been the one from earlier. I don't remember if it was rebuilt, but they almost got the other one. It's down to 6%. The fades. It is fade time. See, Velk is there in his egg, and we're probably. Who are we going to see as another fade? Or are we only going to have 1? We'll have to see here. I mean, Alcalde is obviously also at fade res. I don't remember if what life form he played previously. I know he did Onos in that one round. We'll just have to see here. 2 skulks chasing after Golden and Sicknick. One of them, Alcalde gets picked off. Bitey takes a lot of damage. He's hiding behind the little thing over there, but there isn't really that much cover, so he does get picked off before he's able to get around the corner. It ended up being a bad choice of what direction to go, and Valk moves in on Golden, who's separated from Sicknick, and that should be an easy kill there, and he and Sammy G are going to move in on Sicknick and take him down. Heracles also joining in the fun. Alright, looks like Alcalde is going to be going fade here as well. Alright, so I wasn't totally misremembering that. And we're going to see the whole group of aliens, looks like, converging on Zephram here in Crossroads. A nice kill there from Heracles as the Skulk. And you can see that the res has sort of evened out again, but this time instead of having, for a while there, Titus was sitting at an easy average of 4 res or so, 4.5 res. And now they're sitting at a slightly lower one, but at this point, Godar has also locked down a few more RTs. Or at least it certainly looked that way from the graph. Yeah, they've done a pretty good job at holding on to the res that they've had, which is allowing them to get these life forms up. Anyway, here comes the swarm. On 2 different things, though, they need to really decide what the heck they're going to be biting on. It looks like they decided on the phase gate. Versal jumps out of the chair. Sammy G swooping in there, trying to land some bites. They're able to pick him off. Sicknick also in there. They kill him. Zephram respawned, I think. Here comes Gorgeous and Joshy, both with shotguns. The Fades better watch out and just get the heck out. Vel getting very low, but he's able to get around the corner, and Golden's there for the pinch, so easy kill there. Alcalde also coming through. Sammy G going down. Alcalde barely able to get around the corner, but he's able to get out, and there's nobody else between him and the hive, so he's clear. So they went through there. They killed a phase gate, sure, but they just lost a lurk and a fade. That was a very nice setup for the pinch there from Golden. You can see why they didn't beacon in that case. They had people in just the right place to be able to make sure that no matter what way people went, well, they were going to be there to take down those life forms. So RT's going down. But now that they've lost those life forms, let's look at the graph at the moment. Those we're seeing a pause here. No, he's instantly resuming. I'm not sure what happened there. It does look like his ping's kind of high, but I don't... Alright, so... Alright. So we're just a momentary pause there. I think there might have been some weird ping issues or something. Anyway.
Command station under
Stuff getting chomped on down here in Crossroads. Meanwhile, Sammy G was up there trying to get his revenge up in Atrium. He's able to take out Versal, but Joshy's right there with the shotgun, so, you know, respawn, no problem. Zephram by himself versus Alcalde. He actually just drops the, Heracles drops that RT there, and it kind of blocked Zephram a little bit. It's like a little bone wall all in itself, because suddenly there's that collision there, because I don't think that was there when the fight was initially going on. So we're seeing a group of 4 pushing into Crossroads so they can finally get that gate up and try and get that positioning on the map pretty much secured. Atrium always does feel like it's really far from everything, but... Oh, Joshy's trapped in there in the back corner, so he isn't really able to get involved in this fight. Here comes everybody. Bitey alert again. Volk taking down Joshi, and they end up taking down everyone. Golden's really far away from the gate, trying to bait them back, but here's the thing, he gets taken down. Zephram popping through the gate at the last moment. Well, not really the last moment at this point. Also Zephram coming through the gate. Joshi now coming through the gate. He takes down one of the skulks, but it is going to go down. So what map control they had there also just got destroyed. Flight control has been dropped. There's nobody in that area to hear it. Closest one looks like it was Sicknick, unless there's somebody a little bit closer. Sending a drifter over to go build that. Oh, we'll have to see what happens there. Golden taking out Icefelt. Zephram coming around the corner there with the shotgun. So Volk is over there as Skulk as well. Here comes Bitey. So a couple shotguns running down the right side of the map. They're split up enough, though, that if they're able to, like, sneak up on them, it may be good for them to be able to, you know, actually just... Depending on who groups up where, it'll either mean shotguns down or life farms down. And flight control gets taken down because Sicknick and Gorge is actually headed over that way, and, you know, nobody bothered defending it. So that was 40 of Godar's res getting taken down, but they're up to 6 RTs. So not too bad at all for Godar. They're potentially, once that finishes building, they'll be up to 6 RTs. So after clearing the hive there, Sicknick and Gorge are like, screw this, we're going to get a gate here. I mean, it's not exactly the gate that people necessarily want. Tech point gates don't really give you as much of an advantage, and they're getting cleared out there. And again, they're just, oh, we just saw Bitey go down. Looks like that was over here. Golden was able to take him out. But they're going to lose the gate over here. Heracles out as a Gorge. He's over there healing people. And yeah, they have enough res for another hive. So it's just, yep, there's the hive. It got dropped by Volk, who hopped in the hive there to help out. Joshi getting a few shots on Icefeld. Here comes Alcalde. He's taking quite a few bullets as well, though. But Heracles is going to come over and try and heal them, and hopefully help them take this engagement. Bitey in the vent there, trying to land some parasites. Looking at the res situation at this point, it's still going to be a while before somebody has Onos res. We do have enough almost for a couple fades. All right, so the swarm is over there. So I think that at this point, probably one of the lurks is going to at this point be saving for Onos, and we'll have to see who ends up doing what. Or maybe both saving for Onos, and they're just going to let Bitey be lurk from now on. Who knows? We'll find out. We got Golden and Sicknick over there in vent, and they do have the power already set up, and they're just going to try and get that gate. Sicknick trying to drive away the skulks, and just generally, you know, try and get them that position. Because at least at this point, with so many people still skulks, it's a really good time to go in there and just try and annihilate the base. I mean, looking in there, there isn't any, like, real PvE. That shell is still at really low health. And the other one is pretty easy to hit, too. You can see Golden's going right after the shells. There goes that one shell, and the other one's just going to get destroyed as well. Seeing stuff blinking all over the map. You can see there was a skulk over there in data on the minimap. But there's nothing running into either base yet. You can see there's a fade returning, but at this point, all 3 shells are going to be gone. And here comes Zephram also into the hive in sub. A skulk respawned. Alcalde as a fade trying to hide behind the hive. Heracles is actually in the hive, I think, at the other base. So he just better watch out that he doesn't stay in the hive too long, because Alcalde will go down. Maybe it was a case where Alcalde should have been in there and dropping the eggs, just because, well, there isn't anything really for him to go hide behind, and, you know, as the only higher life form. It's like giant target number 1. So Golden, Zephram, and Sicknick now joined by Gorgeous down here in sub, and they're potentially going to lose that, especially but it looks like we're seeing skip over a moment. You can see that there's some shells and stuff being dropped over there in flight control. So 4 Marines hanging out down here in sub. Looked like Sammy G was up here in Atrium trying to be obnoxious and pull Marines back to the base. So somebody faced back. So they did just lose Sub-Axis Hive, which there goes all of their biomass as well. So currently fades, they don't get... Alright, nice beacon back here. If any fades that happen to hatch now aren't going to have metabolized until that hive gets its biomass up. Only thing down here that was making stuff blink was the cysts that have been built into ventilation. You can see that Sammy G's hiding around the corner there, waiting for Icefelt to come join him. Looking at the P-res for aliens. have a couple lurks worth. We have a fade or two worth, but it looks like we have two that are probably at this point saving for Onos. They do have 4 RTs. They actually for a while had more res there than Titus, but oh, and also looking at this, it looks like the assist chain isn't connected to this new hive. Nobody's in the hive yet either, so that's going to be somewhat problematic if all the assists start dying because, well, it's not connected to the initial hive there. So we'll probably see Heracles jump in the hive there and try and fix that, and everything will magically turn green. Joshy's moving down through here, through the south half of the map here, just clearing up assists as he goes. And it's still not connected, which is interesting. So much of the map is currently red. It's all those assists just slowly dying. Let's see, mouse over one, 84, 82. If they don't fix that soon, if they don't go through and and reconnect the assist chain really soon, they're gonna just start losing the map as all the assists start popping. There aren't any crags as far as I know out there either, so it's not like, a crag by an RT will keep that alive for a while. It's just, it feels like a little oversight that maybe just because Heracles isn't in the hive that much. They're actually losing all their res now. Looking at this, that res that they had really nice right at about the 15-minute mark, might be a little bit after, it's now all gone. But okay, they're taking down the gate there in Vent, so a good win there for Godar. You see Bitey's back up as a lurk, Valk up as a fade, running into 2 shotgunners that appeared from data core, and we see stuff blinking here in the hive over in flight, and that'd be Joshy working on those new shells, and the assist chain still hasn't been connected, so they're going to start losing the stuff going towards cross. Actually is a crag over there, never mind. Joshy's still alive, he picked off one skull, and we're seeing Icefelt baiting out another shot there. He almost got taken down, he took a little bit of damage, not that much, and Valk was able to take him out. 4 Marines now in Crossroads. They're going to be sitting there trying to get that gate up. Assist chain still not connected to even base. Alright, finally, it got reconnected. We're good to go. And that was only because it got resisted. So, as I said, I think that's an oversight just from having Heracles out of the hive so much. He's actually up to 25 res, so, whoop, Bitey went down. That was up here in base, I think. Yep, it was from Joshy, so up here they pushed into base right as that gate was going up. And Valk bouncing across everybody's head there to try and get back and heal. Joshy taking a fair bit of damage there. They're making sure to weld, which is definitely good for them. They'll stay alive for that much longer. That RT there in cross is going to end up getting annihilated. And we've got Zephyr down here already being obnoxious and killing as many assists as possible. Doesn't take out the Drifter. He's just trying to slow down the ability to recap because currently they're only res. Well, aside from this one in cross, which is about to go away, yeah, the only one left is the one in base, which is actually really low, too. Golden over here alone versus the aliens. However, Bitey, Sammy G, and what was that, Valk all backed off and decided to leave him alive. So biomass finally started, but guess what? We have a gate down here in Comp Lab. It's a very nice, aggressive gate, especially since that basically traps them in their hive. This is the phase gates are like a little fence here, keeping the aliens inside. Of course, at the moment, you can see that they're biting everywhere, and they do have enough res to drop another hive. So if they're able to like lock something down with a stealthy hive, well, a not so stealthy hive, I think we're seeing some scans here too. So if they're scanning that much, they won't be able to get that hive. But for sisting normally, it's going to be really hard for them to do anything. They're going to have to clear the gate down there in Comp Lab. It's just too close and too dangerous. And you can see that there was a robo being built somewhere. Okay, it's in cross. It's just a really dangerous position for them because they're trapped. This is an invisible fence that is blocking them from being able to assist. Because guess what? If they assist through this way, there's kind of Marines. If they assist south, there's kind of some Marines there too. Valk Valk does get the kill there on Golden, but he gets fairly low. They still are missing one shell, it looks like, and they of course are okay. They do have the biomass now, so he does have the metabolized back. They're going for Crag Hive, and which means that they can finally get that other shell back. Sicknick winning the engagement there versus Sammy G. Icefelt now turning into something. Looks like an Onos. So we are going to see our first Onos showing up, and it looks like Sammy G will probably be next. And this may allow them to actually get maybe break one of these gates. At the moment, it looks like Cross may be the better one, but they just lost that RT. They currently have no res, so at this point, well, it'll be interesting to see what they end up doing, because they have 2 Onai, or they will very shortly. It looks like they're not even going to wait for Sammy G to pop out of his egg. They're just going to push in with 2 Fays, an Onos, and a Gorge. Heracles is the little Gorgie. Okay, here comes Sammy G joining up with them. So biling the arcs, Valk's hiding in the vent. And it looks like Versal's going to try and pull those arcs back to try and save that res. Here they all come, moving in here right as the server starts hitching, because that's what servers do. Clearing out the Marines. Zephram's the only one left. He's trying to pull them back out of that, disastrous little hallway where he has no room to move. Sicknick also alive. Well, now he's not. And they're all going to converge on that gate. The arcs are getting wheeled elsewhere, but it looks like Heracles' Bile Bomb is going to probably take those out, no problem. So as far as clearing out Crossroads goes, it's all good to go. Last arc did turn into a pile of scrap there in the hallway, and we've got a group of 5 Marines pushing into Cross to try and get a gate up again. I mean, it's so important for them to try and keep this position. I mean, yes, it cost them quite a bit of money there to, oh wow, look at that. Just this methodical destruction of all their harvesters. They've been doing pretty well there when they got that positioning back up at 16 minutes. But it just got trashed. And now they're going to try and clear out the comp lab gate. These gates are close enough together that it's going to be really hard for them to be able to, keep an area once however, we did lose one of the Onai. Icefelt does go down. It's going to be really hard with these gates, as close as they are, to hold on to them both. My bird apparently agreed. We got Heracles there, still magically alive as the Gorge, and he actually isn't biling either of the weapons there. There are 2 shotguns there that might be within a recoverable range, but I guess not at this point. Nobody's heading that way, so they'll probably be gone at this point. Alright, here comes Golden and Gorgeous now. Sammy G still up there as an Onos, just waiting around. There's also Zephram as well. Alcalde moves in there right after Gorgeous, because he is the only one with the LMG, but he goes down there. Sammy G also going down, and we had Golden coming for the pinch through the vent, and he ends up taking down Sammy G. So they are without Onai, and they're down to 1 Fade again. I think this happened last time, though, that a lot of life forms ended up melting. End up with just 1 Fade. So we have Valk and Heracles. Those are our life forms at the moment. Everything else is a skulk. And we're just seeing everybody encroaching on base again. Joshy's there all by himself. The gate in Comp Lab is alive. And they're all just going to push in. Meanwhile, the Hive has at least a couple of Marines moving in on it. They clear out the spawners, and they're just working on the base power. They're saying, forget this, we're going to try and take everything down. They do have a robo in Crossroads, so they can actually just power search stuff if they really want to allow everyone to come back. They can power search the obs, which is right here, I think. I think that is the right glowy building. But it looks like... What are they doing? They're relocating to Cross. They said, forget this. They have Golden there already. The power's obviously already up since they have all that other stuff there. And they're just going to relocate to Cross because of the power going out. And that gives them 49 res to work with. It'll be a moment before they're able to go and get the arms lab up as well. But it looks like they're going to lose the gate there in Comp Lab. So this is a very good opportunity for Godar to actually do some work. But it looks like... Golden tapping both the IPs. However, here comes Icefeld, here comes Bitey, and this might end up being it. And there it goes. It ends up going to Godar. So the relocate perhaps a little bit too late. I'm not sure there, but definitely good call going on that power node, because that means that, guess what? Godar actually gets a point there. Very nice for them. Alright, we'll wait till this thing says, alright teams, and then we will give Titus their points. So this will be the last round for this map, or well, for this match in general. All right. So Godar, after looking really iffy there, ends up winning that by just simply, going for the base power. Everybody was off doing their own thing, and they weren't able to come back, and defend against that whole, giant pile of aliens and a gorge on the power. For a little while, it looked like maybe they'd have that opportunity, but with Golden down there in Cross, working on the relocation, obviously that means you can't beacon. So even though they did have that robo there, perhaps if they hadn't had everybody die right off the bat, that maybe it would have been a better thing to just before the power went down, hopefully timing it so it would beacon everybody back right as the power was about to go out or something. Get everybody back there, get them all alive, and possibly just build the power back up and call it good. But even losing those two Onai, I don't know whether that meant Titus was like, okay, we're good to go, now we don't have to worry about it, or what. But a very good call there from, I don't know who that would be, but possibly Heracles, because, he is theoretically the commander right now, so... Looks like we're going to have to change the map because Rant is getting mod out of date, I think it was. Alright, looks like we see the Onos going down there, the final Onos getting pinched. Yeah, it was that play with the Onai. Both of them were just, especially the second Onos going down there, was a really good call from Golden going through the vent there. Just like, hey, there's this vent that basically hop through and you're on the other side of the wall. That's a prime opportunity to take when that is an option. You really have to be hyper aware of where these vents end up going. There's so many opportunities where you could, either by jumping into a vent if it's one that you can hop into, like the one right there, which of course, oops, let me hit the right button here, which of course that's really easy to get into. No question there, you can get into that vent. You just need to crouch into it and then come out the other side over sort of where Alcalde is. How about that? But you just, be a little bit hyper aware there with where the vents end up going. You saw Golden also going in the vent here. He hopped in through here and was waiting up here for one of the lurks. I want to say it was Icefelt that was flying back into the vent, and he and Zephyr, I think it was, were just sort of had him pinched. At least I think it was a lurk. Maybe it was a skulk. I just remember Golden was in the vent, and I think Zephyr was running around over in Reactor, chasing whoever the heck it was that was running around. It might have actually been a skulk. Oh well. Either way, whoever that was, they totally got cleaned up, and it was really nice vent play. And definitely a good opportunity. Alright, taking a look here at chat. Okay, they've got to the end of the round. People snarking at Versal because of the way the round end. When all fails, pub strat at power. Hey, it's totally fine to go after the power. That is a legit way of killing everything. If there's enough stuff in there that think about it. There's so much stuff in there. If they could either phase back, they could beacon. They could, they could build a field ob somewhere and beacon that way. There are just so many ways for them to be able to, get all the Marines back to base. And if they aren't going to respond fast enough to taking the power down, we saw that in someone last night. Was it last night? Sometime yesterday in one of the matches I was casting. You saw that whole just hit the power repeatedly thing too. They had a bunch of Onai that just kept rushing the power on descent. I think it was up in Fabrication. I don't remember what teams it was because I casted two matches that were both the same maps, same divisions. So whoever it was, they ended up just throwing the Onai at the power repeatedly. And each time they'd get a little bit of chip on that power, and eventually the power would go down, and huzzah, the round would be over. Alright, I see Batty in chat now. I see also Sicknick has joined as well. We have a couple of people lurking around. Oh no. Now Valk is having issues? Oh no. Oh, please tell me that Valk isn't validating. Okay, that's what was said. I gotta love waiting on slower computers. So we'll see how this is. As I said, I think that... I can actually give the score back to Titus there. There we go. I mean, it's really nice to see that Godar was able to pull that one off. Just because while they're kind of the team that is, I think, seen as, yeah, as I said, the underdogs. They're the ones that have not had a good last season and a half or so or whatever. And so there we go. It wasn't exactly like it wasn't exactly a clean win. It was a struggle where they very well could have had a bunch of shotgunners running into the hive and annihilating it. I was actually kind of waiting for that to see, with that gate down there in Comp Lab. I mean, that's like an ideal launching point. I mean, if you're having the map like this and you can't sis through here and you can't sis through here because there are gates in both those positions, I mean, you're pretty well trapped, and just running a bunch of Marines from probably the Comp Lab gate just right into the hive. I mean, that's a pretty typical thing to do, especially with only one Fade still alive, and yeah, a Gorge. Okay. We did see Joshy run in there, I remember, but it's just Titus didn't group up to go in there all at once. I mean, that's all it would have taken. I know that Godar, I think, did have enough res to maybe drop another hive, but if they had to pull everybody back to try and, do that, it would mean that they can't exactly go defend a new hive. Alright, what do we see there? Oh no, my text thing is stuck open. Oh no! Game! God damn it. Let me actually, reconnect here. Can I actually join off of somebody that I'm already connected to? Because that would be amazing. Alright, there we go. Let's reconnect because my game was being dumb. Alright. So now that my game freaked the hell out and wasn't allowing me to get out of chat, which is always lovely. I actually haven't had that happen before. Alright, that was the fastest pre-cache in the world. Game? Oh my god, game. Hello, game. So I need to restart NS2. Or disconnect. That didn't work the way I was hoping it would. Forgetting the password. Dude, I love waiting to pre-cache. It's very exciting. I don't know what the hell I did to make that freak out like that. I always gotta have some sort of tech issue, but at least if it's just that isn't too bad. See people talking about about how combat's coming out. I think that's what coming out Halloween. All right, I'm alive again. Oh my god, go away. Yeah, I need to restart NS2. Oh my god, this is dumb. It really is freaking out. Don't start without me, guys. I have no idea what the hell is going on with my NS2. It doesn't look like any keys are stuck or anything, so I have no freaking idea. Someone tell me what the heck is wrong with my game. But hopefully just restarting this will fix it and it'll be no problem. Alright. Whoa! What's wrong with my freaking game? think everybody's having issues here. What happened? What happened? What's going on? I'm so confused. The game is broken. Alright, so, oh, Shine updated. Welcome to NS2. Shine has successfully broken the game. So, yeah. I can't even type. These people and their broken stuff. Oh, goodness. So, I'm not quite sure what's going to happen at this point. The chat has been obliterated. Ah, what a disaster. So, okay, we'll reload this and see maybe it has been unbroken, because that would be nice. So that'd be what was going on. So I guess that during that match, Shine got updated, and so Rant couldn't get into the game, and now we're good to go. Trying to hack it. Okay, so gotta love tech issues. Give people a 3-minute warning there. Alright, so everybody's getting back on the server here. We have everybody in here again. Stuff is done being dumb. Now that we can type again. Rant's in here, I guess. Yeah, Rant is in. Who's out? Looks like Gorgeous is out. So we got Rant, Sicknick, Versal, Zephram, and Joshy Golden for this round. They're going to be as aliens. And we have to go through here and give everybody's score back because the server is very confused. And we're just going to be moving right in here after that tech issues into the final round of Godar versus Titus versus Godar, Godar versus Titus. However, it was originally listed in 5 seconds. Alright. Seeing Titus starting in data and Godar over here in flight control. They're just gonna get the heck out of base. You know, normal sort of start here with the arms lab and seeing 3 cruising on over towards Crossroads. At the moment there's nobody in there though, so they're gonna have 3 in there and, well, nobody responding. That does give them the opportunity that if they wanted to, they could go and try and kill Heracles, who's just hanging out outside of base at the moment because he was building the arms lab. Sicknick was down there trying to get some parasites. He did get the one on Alcalde. He's just backing up. He's trying to stay alive, definitely trying to bait them forward a little bit. I mean, I guess the RT is done, so it's not really an issue there. He needs to go back and try and get the parasite on Bitey. Looks like Rant just went down up here in Crevice, it looked like. Sicknick sneaking along. That's actually really bad to have them split up like that. I mean, I guess it isn't too bad. Bitey is kind of protecting over here in Crossroads, but Sicknick is just able to get on through. He's far enough away that Bitey's going to have a hard time trying to catch up with him. He's actually going to hide up on the wall there, trying to bait Bitey forward so he could try and jump on his head, basically. Comes over there, he gets a nice kill onto Bitey. You can see there's the gorge tunnel up. You can see Golden is a gorge again. He set up the tunnel between the 2 naturals. And they're grouping up 3 Marines there. 2 of them parasited, and Sammy G is not. Zephram's waiting in the vent to try and flank that, but with the shade there as well already, I think that's the only PvE in that area. Yeah, but let's see, Golden is going to go down there. He isn't able to get back in the tunnel, but here come all the Skulks. They're able to take down Icefelt. Next to Sammy G. Valk's going to be next. Zephram almost getting taken out. There isn't a Crag over in that area either at the moment, but not too bad. They're going to probably have to go build a Drifter here to try and get the RT built. And that'll definitely give them a nice amount of an ability to move back and forth between the naturals and thus the 2 halves of the map. Alright, Bidey and Alcalde working on trying to capture Cross. And Zeph getting a little bit of damage there on the RT, but... Oh, and Versal's coming over to help, so they're going to try and face down versus Valk and Big Daddy. AKA Sammy G. Sammy G goes into the vent and just obliterates Zephram. It looks like Twitch chat is freaking out a little bit too. And Versal gets taken down by Valk, and so they've been cleaned up. They slowed them down a little bit as far as them encroaching into Atrium goes, but all things considered, they're going to be able to continue forward and possibly cap that. That'll get Godar onto a 5th RT once that happens. Alcalde taking down Sicknick, Rant taking down Alcalde, and Bidey taking down Rant and Joshi. And it looks like he may get taken out. He does get taken out there by Zephram. Golden's just going to work on that RT that they just built up there in Cross. Meanwhile, they've got Valk and Sammy G up there working on the tunnel. That's going to be the primary thing to get taken down. They do already have Sis there. So losing the tunnel, it is a bad thing because they don't have that mobility. But they do have the Sis there, which, you know, it means that nothing is going to die horribly. Alright, and a nice cleanup there. We see Sicknick up as a lurk already, and we'll probably be seeing Zephram up as a lurk momentarily as well. Golden getting the parasites on Bidey and possibly Alcalde, except for he's kind of hiding behind the RT, so it's making it kind of hard. Golden's actually going through the vent there, the vent in the floor there that's also kind of obnoxious to get into and out of. So he's able to get out. Still not getting that parasite, missing it. It's hitting the wall. So much for that parasite. But you can see the shade on both of the naturals there, definitely helping. Will be helping them secure that. Oh, that RT, 1%. A little bit of friendly fire could have taken down that RT. So Sicknick and Zephram swooping around. Alcalde taking quite a bit of damage. Sicknick having to retreat through the vent. Zephram going over. He's going to have to go through the vent too, but he's... Gets stuck in the ceiling? I think he got stuck in the ceiling there, but he was able to get out. He probably lined up really well with reloads and just generally being right out of line of sight. Maybe they thought he was already out, but that could have gone really badly there. But he was able to survive. Joshi, Rant, and Sicknick all moving in on Icefeld, who is the only one down here in the little corner by, Subaxis. They do have another OBS here, so they're definitely doing a lot of forward OBS placement, which is something I don't remember seeing much before. Just trying to give the Marines a little bit of that foresight to be able to plan their engagements that much more. Obviously, since it was just kind of sitting there as a forward ops, that does mean it didn't really, they weren't researching phase tech on it or anything, so they lost just the money for the ops at this point. Seeing Sicknick sneaking up on Icefeld, just slowly creeping along. Obviously, as a lurk in this new version of Comma, you have an increased decrease of your gliding speed over time. So basically it's a lot more harsh. If you're trying to silent lurk after somebody and creep up on them and bite them in the back, you're gonna have to do it from a much shorter distance, or you're gonna have to be going at a much slower speed, because it's kind of harsh. It's trying to keep people from doing the silent lurk thing. And at this point, Sicknick was just hiding up there in the ceiling, waiting for the right moment for the reload. He was able to go in there and take out Alcalde, who was already at half health. He's going to move in on Icefeld too, especially with Joshi helping out, and they're going to be able to clean that up. Having the Crag in there, that'll heal up the shade, and sort of shuffling the stuff around here, so that way it isn't in the exact same spot as, where it is from last time. Sicknick having to go hide in an event there. We're seeing up here, Zephram trying to get out, getting out with... 13% HP. Sammy G was on his pistol and had to reload that. He does get taken out by Sicknick, who came to support his lurk buddy. Joshy just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen, it looks like. I mean, there's that RT there. It is down to 33%, so that's obviously a really tasty-looking target for a Skulk. You see Volk is just watching the vent there. I think that he probably was biting the RT there in Comp Lab and ended up backing off. I'm not quite sure. Either way. Oh, and nice. That placement of the shade means that Sicknick can sit right around the corner there. The one problem is that, of course, that's a shotgunner. And thus much more scary than if it was an LMG. They're going to get the heck out and wander into the land of shaded things. They do see the tunnel there. It is sisted also. Okay, they found the shade. And so that's getting taken down. Meanwhile, stuff is blinking up also up on the north side of the map, so we can go... looks like... I guess it's Zephyrum's up there with the other Marines. Sicknick almost going down in that engagement. When we take a look up here, you can see Zephyrum does have a Krag there to support him. So... he decides to leave because, well, Atrium is this huge open room. It doesn't really give him much cover to maneuver, so it looks like they're going to just decide to go and try and clear out down in ventilation. They've already lost the shade down there, but the Krag is heel waving, so that'll definitely help when they move in to try and engage on these shotguns. Here come all the Skulks. A nice bone wall there to trap Icefeld against the power node, basically. So that's 2 shotguns down, and there's nobody close enough to recap those, so 40 res down for Godar at the moment. Taking a look at the res graph, they were able to get up to a nice 5 RTs up there, and are going to be back there soon enough. Taking a look at the graphs here. So really, they just need some good early kills on the lurks, but at this point, it's going to be good early kills on the fades. Because Titus is on 3 RTs, and their fades just popped up. That'd be Joshy and Rantology up as fade, and they're going to converge on Valkyr and Crossroads. And Icefeld, who also goes down. A little bit of chip damage for everyone, but not too bad. They're going to take down the power there and cross, it looks like. While the fades work on the RT. Of course, if it doesn't have any armor, which given the fact that it's sisted around there, it almost certainly did not have armor, that means that the fades can work on killing the building at like a not hideously slow rate. That was one of those changes that was initially in comp mod, but I believe now is also in vanilla. We have Golden over there working on that RT. Is he going to make it? 2%. What was the one that had 1%? It looks like it might have been that one there in Crevice, I think, but it has been welded if that is the case. So let's see, where's stuff blinking? Where are the fades going? Looks like possibly back to heal. Versal running in! And he gets the kill on the RT. Does not get the kill on Valk, however. But that's okay. Really the important thing was to go in there and try and get that, get rid of that res. I mean, between taking down the actual res from the RT and making them drop a new one and just not letting them get any more during that period of time while it's being rebuilt, I mean, that's a good chunk of time. That's a good chunk of res that they aren't getting. Hello, server. Thank you for doing that. All right. So we got Rant kind of guarding between the hallways there. However, here's the problem. It was that there were kind of 4 Marines heading in that general vicinity. So she wasn't able to really get back to Sicknick, but he was able to get out through the vent without too much of an issue. He's going to sweep over here towards Crossroads and get some spike damage on various Marines. But there are 2 shotguns there, plus the LMG from Icefeld, which is a lot more dangerous at that distance than, the shotguns would be. Of course, the shotgunners all also have pistols, because you still don't, even with the changes that were brought in comp mod, you still don't see that many flamethrowers up, even though they would be secondary weapons. Krag there heel waving a bit, so that way they could, so that way Sicknick can get some heals going on. 3 Marines trapped on this back loop of Pipe Junction. Moving in there, 1 Marine down. Rant moving in for a swipe. Now Joshy getting a swipe. Sicknick flying in there bravely, getting a bite on, I think, at least one of them, though I'm not sure which one. We're seeing a beacon, because that gate there is... I think it was just to save them, possibly. Save those shotguns, not lose another 20 res. Everybody pops back through the gate, because there wasn't... the life forms weren't like grinding it necessarily, just kind of in that vicinity, and they were able to go through and defend that. Volk heading on in there. He is alone, though, so if they wanted to take that, they could. I mean, really the main part is to stay alive while this hive builds. It's at 29%. They don't have a gorge or anything building it at this point. Though Versal is a gorge now, so where is he? It looks like he is still in base. I can see there's some sort of life form over there. Where is he? Where's Versal? Oh, he's finally down at the hive. So he's down at the hive. He's going to heal stuff up and work on getting that second hive up there and sub, and that'll probably... I'm not quite sure what hive they'll end up going for, but it'll be something. So we have Sammy G and Bitey getting swiped at by the phase. Rant gets very low, down to about, what, 9% it looked like. All of the Marines up in that little in-pipe junction area, Sammy G, Bitey, and Icefield, all getting very low in that engagement. But now at this point, they're, they got meted, they've been welded up, and they're going to try again to get that phase gate there in Vent. Meanwhile, we're seeing Joshi and Zeph moving up towards the one in Crossroads. Obviously, that gate in Vent is now complete, so they're going to see that phase gate flicker on and off, and that'll mean that there's potentially going to be some Marines popping through that gate. See Rantology backing up to try and take out Volk, who was sniping at them from afar. The gate does go down, and she was able to take out Volk, while Joshi was able to take out Icefelt, who popped through the gate. It means that their only gate at the moment is the one down here in Ventilation. It looks like they are going to try and get the gate back up in Crossroads. But at this point, Subaxis has been finished. Signet gets very low, and he does end up going down. He stayed in a little bit too long to try and take that. Joshi actually gets caught by a bone wall. That was really bad on that part, and Joshi goes down as well. Bad bone wall there from Versal. Don't see that very often in Premiere, but it happens sometimes. So they have the gate back up in Cross, and Golden's going to spot that no problem. He's going to go over and start trying to pull some people back. We see stuff blinking in here. That'd be Volk and Icefelt moving down into the Subaxis Hive. Rant moving in, trying to get Icefelt. Joshi moving in to clean that up. Looks like Sammy G ported back to Crossroads to be able to take out Golden, who I think was still working on that gate. Alcalde also moving into the room. Versal coming in to try and bile down just armor, weapons, whatever the heck happens to be in his way. But that gate is still there. The one in Crossroads is being welded. That would be Sammy G working on that. Oh, with that gate definitely is a nice little point to cut off the movement between the hives. That is one of the things that looks like, okay, it does have a shade up now down there in Subaxis, and they lost the obs though. Where was the obs? I'm confused now. Either way, the obs is gone. Aha! They put the obs in a very interesting spot. They put it right here in the hallway from Complab. So it was on Complab power, and that would be why they now no longer have an obs, and there was nobody in base. Alright, Bitey gets taken down. Looks like Sammy G's going to be the next target. They're using the ink there from the shade to try and help, obscure the vision. It does do funny things to that when you're a Marine wandering around in it, and obviously with two veils up, that was the Shade Hive was their second hive of choice. See Versal there with the Bio Bomb, and he ends up going down, but he's at 10 res, so he can just, go gorge again. No tunnel down there. It might have been something smart to do to drop a tunnel down here and build that up, and then regorge over here and drop the other half of the tunnel, especially if he was planning on going through to die. So that might have been something that could have helped them out, just so that way they'd be able to flank the gate that much easier. They obviously don't have the one there in Cross, and Rant's going to have to get out of there because she is really low on health. So 4 Marines in that hive. The veils are not in there. And we're seeing another obs being built up here in Atrium. Looks like that got won by Joshi up there, I think. And it looks like, so far, Godar is just cleaning up everything that's down here in the Subaxis Hive. The shift is down, they lost some of the PvE. The problem is the 2 veils are right there. And taking a look up here, there aren't any over here. I'm not quite sure why they haven't taken down the veils yet. Maybe they just haven't seen them because there's a hive in the way. But they actually might end up being pulled back. Rant's actually still very low. She ends up running back to the hive. Just nobody's gone after the veils yet. They've taken a little bit of chip damage, but just for whatever reason, nobody's been like, hey, here are the upgrades. Let's kill them. And if they're able to hold on to those upgrades, that'll be an amazing victory for Titus. 1% on the hive. I mean, it literally looks like there's no HP. We just have Rant working on that one. And meanwhile, stuff was going on in base. Zephyr gets sniped down the hallway, and his hallucination is working on doing work. Rant moving in, trying to take down Heracles. She's able to do that. Versal going gorge. They're getting a Crag up ASAP. Because a 1% hive. Yeah, about that. Anyway, we got Rant, Golden, and Sicknick all working on the gate. Icefelt comes through. He wasn't reloaded, though, so even if he got through and was able to take out one of those skulks, he didn't have his shotgun reloaded to be able to take out another. And there's only the 1 IP. I don't know. I think that another IP may have been taken down, and they just had to wait for the res on it. But they had 59 res, so they should have had that second IP down instantaneously if that was the case. But yeah, 1% on that hive. How about that? So vent has been cleared. During that, giants have all the marines stuck in the queue kind of thing. Versal's working on healing up the hives. Zephyrum's re-lurking. Taking a look at his res. Yeah, he was at about 40 or so. I guess, let's see, and we got... Golden should be going Onos fairly soon. He's at 52 res. Obviously, that is slower than he otherwise might have been, just because, well, he went Gorge at the beginning and dropped 2 tunnels. Obviously, that is one of the problems if you do have your Onos player go Gorge, is it does slow down those Onos. And especially if it was something where you really needed the Onos, well, you're just out of luck at that point. If you went and in the early game decided that you were going to have an Onos, well... the Onos is no more. And they still haven't, Titus still hasn't gone and rebuilt that, but just for whatever reason. I mean, those are Veils, right? Yeah, those are Veils, and just no damage on those Veils. Versal jumping out to try and heal that. I think he probably should have been healing it earlier, but that hive is going to go down, and then they'll probably clean up those Veils finally. Bitey getting taken down by Joshi. Now he's going to move after Valk. Valk clears him out. The hive's back down to 2%, and it does finally go down. Why are the Veils not dead yet? Versal popping out of an egg and killing Sammy G. We're seeing seeing everybody just melt that while that was going down. I really want to see the Veils die. So alright, so good on them for being able to just take that out while they were trying to take down that hive. They knew it was low, and it was enough of a bait to be able to just hit back on that, hit that chair. So yeah, that'll be it for Titus versus Godar. That is the only premier match that was going on this weekend. Aside from that weird technical glitch right before the end of the round, that'll be it for today. What else was there? Yeah, that is it for today. This was a week 1 match. So, you know, I think that the next one, I don't know what ones will be played next week, and I know that a few of the premier matches are a little bit out of order. So we'll have to see what happens then. And yeah. I wish that I had been paying a little bit more attention to the little fight there in Flight, but there was chaos going on at both places. Let's see, what else? Check NSL.org, which I think the only match that's going to be coming up now, aside from stuff that is going on concurrently, will be stuff that is, I think that there's one Wednesday that I think now has a caster, so that is the only thing that is currently upcoming on the schedule. Keep an eye out for the stuff that's next weekend. And so, yeah, it's always nice seeing seeing premier games, even as crazy as they can be, aka the round before this one. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys whenever the heck I next end up streaming. So see you then, and thank you for watching.